Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone had a great day today. And today's Wednesday. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite was tonight. And personally, in my opinion, I thought this was a great show. I really enjoyed myself. I thought this was a great show from top to bottom. Is it like one of those shows where it's like, oh, you should go out of your way to like watch it, or like this is one of the most incredible shows in the history of AEW? No, it's not that. But it's a very enjoyable, very laid back, just a very good show. Very, very good show, just from top to bottom. And obviously, I'm gonna go over it just like every other AEW Dynamite review. So without further ado, let's get this review underway. So to start off the show, right before we even get the intro, we get a small promo of the Young Bucks, who have officially turned heel. In case you guys don't know, tonight the Young Bucks defended the AEW Tag Team Championships against Ray Felix and Pac in a very, very great matchup, but we will get to that in a little bit. But then after that, we get a Mike Tyson and MJF segment after the AEW Dynamite intro. And honestly, it was a funny segment. Like, MJF was basically trying to bribe Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson was the special guest enforcer, because tonight Chris Jericho went 1-on-1 against Dax Harwood with Mike Tyson as the special guest referee, or not referee but special guest enforcer. But we'll get that to a little bit. But I thought this was a very cool segment. And Mike MJF was trying to bribe Mike Tyson into like Dax Harwood's favor for that matchup against Chris Jericho later on tonight. But Mike Tyson literally put he ripped up the freaking check and put it in his mouth and just like blew it in his face. I for some reason I thought that was funny. But nothing too crazy there. It's just MJF failing into bribing Mike Tyson. After that, we get to our first matchup of the night, as the Young Bucks defended the AEW Tag Team Championships against Ray Felix and Pac of Death's Triangle for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And hands down, match of the night. This was the opening match, and this was match of the night. Like, I already knew that this was going to be match of the night, and it definitely paid off. And my God, this was a great match. I will say that this is probably the weakest Death's Triangle Young Bucks match, because honestly, I seen better. But this is still a great match. I really enjoyed this matchup. The Young Bucks actually picks up the victory over Ray Felix and Pac because Nick Jackson literally ripped the mask off of Ray Felix, super kicked him for the 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks picks up the victory, and the Young Bucks definitely showed some very heel tendencies tonight. That basically the Young Bucks are officially heels, and honestly, I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Young Bucks as faces, but I adore heel Young Bucks. Heel Young Bucks are the best Young Bucks in my opinion. So awesome job. I just love the fact that the Young Bucks are heels. I love the heel. I love the old brash New Japan Pro Wrestling OG Bullet Club type Young Bucks. And that's basically what we saw tonight. And I loved every second of it. So nothing to say there other than the fact that this was an amazing matchup. definitely the best match of the night, even though this was the opening matchup. And of course the Young Bucks look great as always. So after that, we get an interview with Adam Page and the Dark Order. Now, I believe the interviewer's name is Alex Marvez. I could be wrong, but he asks Adam Page about the situation that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are in. But Hangman Adam Page actually avoided that question. Like, he didn't even answer that question at all, which is very interesting. Like, could this be a teaser for Adam Page, like, crossing over with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in the future? Maybe. Like, it was pretty interesting that, like, the interviewer brought up Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in front of Adam Page, and he just didn't answer it. He just avoided the question altogether. So I thought that was very, very interesting. But after that, we just get a small inner circle Mike Tyson segment. Basically, Jericho and Mike Tyson buried the hatchet, and Mike Tyson said that they're just going to call it down the middle. That's it. Nothing too crazy there. After that, we get a really good matchup between Jay Carthill and Red Velvet. Jay Carthill picks up the victory over Red Velvet, but both ladies 100% has major potential in the women's division. I am impressed with Jay Carthill, and I'm also impressed with Red Velvet. These two ladies put up a really good matchup, and honest to God, like, these two ladies have a future here in AEW. Both ladies are extremely impressive and definitely have a future in AEW. Amazing stuff. Was extremely impressed by both ladies. After that, we get a smart interview with Britt Baker and Reba. And every single week, we're getting more and more teasers of Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, which I hope and pray AEW gives Britt Baker the AEW Women's Championship at Double or Nothing. I really hope that's the case. Because Britt Baker, come on, she has been doing some of the best work of her career. Some of her best work. Okay, if anyone deserves to be AEW Women's Champion, it's Britt Baker. Don't get me wrong, Hikaru Shida is a good champion, but it's about time that title needs to be taken off. And no other women except for Thunder Rosa is a better candidate than Britt Baker. Okay, she definitely deserves to be AEW Women's Champion, and hopefully, she could be AEW Women's Champion at Double or Nothing, defeating Hikaru Shida. But I digress. After that, we get the debut of Anthony Ogogo. Okay, he's the man. He's the boxer dude who's a part of QT Marshall's new faction called the Factory, which is a very interesting name. Again, I don't even know why that they are a faction. Like, we already have a lot of factions as it is. Okay, there's no reason to have another faction. But that's just me. I digress. But Anthony Gogo, I'm impressed with Anthony Gogo. He looks like a star. And from his debut tonight, he wrestles like a star. Like, literally, this matchup ended by Anthony Gogo punching the jobber in the ribs. And the jobber was hurt to the point that the referee needed to stop the match. I thought that was very different and unique. I really, really like that. It really makes Anthony Ogogo stand out and be different from the AEW roster, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I was extremely impressed with Anthony Ogogo, and that is another man who definitely has a future in AEW. Great stuff by Anthony Ogogo. After that, we get a vignette of Miro And apparently, he is now splitting up with Kip Sabian. Thank God. Thank you, thank you. Okay? Because again, I said this plenty of times in my AEW Dynamite reviews. Okay? Miro, like, Miro's momentum has been slowing down because of his team up with Kip Sabian. Nobody asked for Miro and Kip Sabian to be a tag team. Okay, and Kip and his partnership with Kip Sabian just slowed him down a lot. So I am extremely happy that Miro is splitting up from Kip Sabian. Thank God. But I am very happy with that. But that's basically all the vignette is. It's just Miro splitting up from Kip Sabian. Nothing too crazy in there. After that, we get Chris Jericho versus Dax Harwood of the Pinnacle, with both the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle being banned from ringside, except for one member of each group. And I thought this was a great match. Here's the thing about Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood is great. And let me tell you something about both Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Both men are great as a tag team, but they are also great as single stars. As of tonight, Dax Harwood put up a great matchup against Chris Jericho. I love this match. This matchup was just awesome. I was impressed with Dax Harwood's singles work. I hope this doesn't happen. I hope and pray this doesn't happen. I hope that FTR doesn't get split up because they are amazing as a tag team. But if for some stupid reason AEW decides to split up FTR, they're already great as singles wrestlers. So, but again, I digress. Dax Harwood, Chris Jericho picks up the victory over Dax Harwood, but I was extremely impressed by Dax Harwood. But after the matchup, actually, it was before the matchup ended, where Mike Tyson knocked out Cash Wheeler. He knocked him out. It didn't look it looked freaking real. Okay, and if it was fake, then Cash Wheeler is an amazing actor. Okay, but it looked like Mike Tyson knocked Dax Harwood out. He was down, and I think he lost a tooth. I think one of Cash Wheeler's tooth just flew out. It looked like Cash Wheeler just was knocked out cold by Mike Tyson. But other than that, nothing too crazy there. Chris Jericho picks up the victory, and right now the Inner Circle has the upper hand over the Pinnacle. After that, we get an interview with the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Madeline Jackson, the Young Bucks. And I thought this was a great interview. I thought this was a great segment by the Bullet Club. And literally at the end, Don Callis literally did a super kick to the cameraman. I thought that was funny. I thought that was cool in my opinion. But yeah, nothing too crazy there. If you guys want to see the entire interview of the Bullet Club, I think it's already on the AEW YouTube page. It's a very good promo. I recommend you check it out in case you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool Bullet Club segment. And it's again, I'm loving this Bullet Club faction. I am loving it. Okay, Bullet Club for life. Okay, awesome stuff by Omega, the Young Bucks, Gallows and Anderson, and Don Callis. So after that, we get a small vignette of Thunder Rosa, the only other lady that I don't mind taking the title away from Hikaru Shida. But here's the interesting thing. Thunder Rosa said that she is coming after both the AEW Women's Championship and the NWA Women's Championship. So she is coming after both Women's Championship, which I think is both very interesting and very, very cool. Who knows? Maybe we might see a double champion in the future, but it remains to be seen. But other than that, nothing too crazy by the Thunder Rosa vignette. After that, we get the returning Chris Statlander going one-on-one against Amber Nova. Nothing too crazy. It wasn't a squash match, but we all knew who was going to win this match. Chris Statlander picks up the victory over Amber Nova, and Chris Statlander looks great. I am glad Chris Statlander is back. Welcome back, Chris Statlander. And she looked great. She looked, honest to God, great in the ring. It's like she never lost a step. Really impressed with Chris Statlander as always. Hopefully she can be a future AEW Women's Champion in the future. But great stuff. Chris Statlander picks up the victory in her returning matchup against Amber Nova. After that, we get Christian Cage calling out someone. Okay, like this is like the Christian Cage challenge segment. Team Taz comes out, interrupts Christian, and he asks Christian if he wants to join Team Taz. Christian Cage actually refused Team Taz. Will Hobbs comes into the ring, and Christian Cage and Will Hobbs just starts brawling. But Will Hobbs were just too much for Christian Cage. And Will Hobbs just took out Christian Cage just like that. Okay, so obviously this is all leading up to a matchup next week. Speaking of next week's matches, great segue by me, by the way. We're going to talk about next week's matches before we talk about the main event. Of course, Christian Cage will face Will Hobbs of Team Taz next week. Also, Ricky Starks will also go one-on-one against Adam Page. Trent Beretta of Best Friends will go against Pentagon Jr. And Hikaru Shida will defend the AEW Women's Championship against Ty Conti for the AEW Women's Championship. That is going to be a great match. That's going to be an awesome matchup between Hikaru Shida and Ty Conti. Definitely excited for next week's show. But after that, we get to our main event of the evening. Darby Allin versus Matt Hardy for the TNT Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I thought this was a fun match. I thought this was a really fun match. Like, obviously, it was just all-out chaos. The Hardy faction actually came in interfering. The Dark Order interfered. Sting interfered. Lance Archer interfered. And for some strange reason, it looked like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky was going to interfere. But they retreated because Lance Archer threatened them. It was just all out chaos. Okay. But I'm just glad that AEW didn't really focus on the chaos. And there's also a little teaser in this matchup as Lance Archer took out Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy of the Hardy Party, making a statement to Sting. The seeds are being planted for Lance Archer versus Sting at Double or Nothing. But back to this matchup, I thought this was a good, fun matchup between Darby Allin and Matt Hardy. And oh my God, it had one of the sickest endings I have ever seen. Okay, so Matt Hardy gets on top of gets laid out onto the announce table, and Darby Allin literally climbs one of the giant poles that's holding the sage together. He literally does the coffin drop to Matt Hardy right to the announce table. 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin wins, retaining the TNT Championship. Now, again, I'm not really crazy about all the chaos happening in the background. Now, this is a good, fun match, in my opinion. Was it perfect? No. Was it a little bit chaotic and messy. Yes, but I thought this was a fun match between Darby Allin and Matt Hardy, and it's the rivalry is definitely not over between the Dark Order and the Hardy Party. So I could definitely see the Dark Order and the Hardy Party um fighting at least one more matchup at Double or Nothing. But Darby Allin picks up the victory, retaining the TNT Championship, in which my opinion was a really good show of AEW Dynamite. And that was the show tonight. It was a really good, solid show in my opinion. Was it perfect? No, but I thought this was a really good, solid show. Very great show tonight by AEW. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. Did you guys like tonight's show like I did? Did you guys not like tonight's show? Was there something you like? Was there something you hate? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. My only rule in this channel is to not be assholes in the comment section. If you guys have a different opinion than I do, then I want to know. I want you to hear it. I want to hear it. I want you to put it in the comment section. Don't be afraid. If you guys have a different take than I do, put it in the comment section. Okay, I want to hear your take. I want to hear your opinions. But my only rule is to not be an asshole in the comment section. That's all I ask, okay? But again, if you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. If you guys like the content that I make sure you subscribe and leave the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But thank you so much for watching. Much, much appreciated. And until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the asylum. Have a nice night, everyone.